A very good evening to you. I'm Lisa Lord, and in our news, 3 BDF soldiers to face court-martial shortly. CBC not to blame for poor signal quality on other cable providers. Buju is here for his long walk to freedom concert. And in sports, Pollard's Mumbai Indians take out Bravo's Super Kings in a top-of-the-table IPL clash.
Broadcasting from our studios in the Pine St. Michael, this is CBC News Night, starting now.
Our top story, 3 individuals facing a number of charges are set to appear before 3 court-martials by the Barbados Defense Force. The military courts are set to be convened in the coming weeks. Force Adjutant Lieutenant Colonel Ryan Aline says that the hearings will take a similar format to a civilian Supreme Court. He stresses that the BDF is set on maintaining the highest standards of discipline among its rank and file. Now, the 2 court sessions are set to be held in May, where 2 accused will appear.
In the first court-martial, which is to be held on the 7th to 10th of May 2019, the individual is charged with committing a civil offense contrary to Section 76(1) of the Defense Act, Cap 159, and that is they wrongfully communicated information contrary to Section 2(1)(a) of the Official Secrets Act 1911 as amended by the Official Secrets Act 1920. The second court-martial, which will be held on the 27th to the 30th of May 2019, the individual has 4 charges proffered against them. The first 2 charges are for communicating with the enemy contrary to Section 36(2) of the Defense Act, Cap 159.
Lieutenant Commander Aline says that the 3rd accused will appear at the 3rd court-martial slated for June 3rd to 6.
The individual is charged with committing a civil offense contrary to Section 76(1) of the Defense Act, Cap 159. And that is to say that this individual illicitly assaulted another individual contrary to Section 11(1) of the Sexual Offences Act, Cap 154.
Taxpayers have been given an extra month to file their personal income tax for the year 2018. They now have until May the 31st. The Barbados Revenue Authority made the announcement earlier today, citing concerns raised in both the public and private sectors. Corporate Communications Manager Carolyn Williams-Gale says that people have been reporting some problems uploading the requisite information in Tamis, prompting the extension.
With any changeover to a new system, there will be snags and requirement for a bit of hand-holding as the transition is made. And we at the authority believe that this adjusted filing period of May 31st will allow employers, third-party providers, and individuals to fulfill their legal obligations. And we recognize that taxpayers do want to voluntarily comply with their taxable obligations, and as an authority, we stand committed to helping them to do just that. Part of our ongoing efforts to assist taxpayers is through outreach and education activities, and this Saturday we'll be hosting our first series of tax filing clinics.
Well, the Caribbean Broadcasting Corporation is tonight pushing back strongly against the notion that it is broadcasting an inferior quality of service to Barbadian households. Last evening, complaints from across the island reached a high point after months of viewers calling in and emailing about the poor quality of TV8 on their screens. Well, our Shane Jones joins us live now with that story. And Shane, I know that we have been receiving a lot of calls, especially in the newsroom, about this.
Yes, Lisa, and I was actually upstairs last night when the calls started coming in hot. It was almost like we were in a call center. Every call that came in, and emails as well, we just kept asking the question, who is your service provider? And Lisa, we got probably close to 30 calls in the first 15 minutes of our news class last night. And not one of them with the issues was an MCTV subscriber.
And of course, they were blaming CBC for the bad quality.
Of course. But honestly, it's not their fault, because as far as they're concerned, when they changed the channel to TV8, they're seeing a drastic change in quality. So I dropped by Chief MCTV Officer Andrew Green for him to clear things up. He revealed that both Flow and Digicel have the option to give their subscribers full HD coverage, and since 2017. Take a look.
We transitioned broadcasting in HD. What that meant was that MCTV subscribers, which are on an HD service, they were able to obtain the same service in an HD format. Outside of that, we're not broadcasting over the air, which is a free-to-air service, in the HD format. So anyone who is looking at the TV service that is not on the MCTV platform will see some very great differences in terms of how it looks and how it sounds. Our plan is to transition to that, but that is intended to be another project and another phase, so that we'll be in a position to broadcast to the whole country for the free-to-air service in HD. Persons who are using other services such as Digicel and Flow will be seeing the old feed, which is the analog feed. So their service will look analog as opposed to HD.
So let me ask you the question, is the option available for Flow and Digicel to purchase the HD quality from the CBC?
Yes, and we did offer that back in, I think it was in 2017. We did make an offer. We reached out to both Flow and Digicel and offered them the HD feed. Of course, will be at a price, and we never got the opportunity to negotiate, but that is something that the CBC will be willing to do, to negotiate a fee, a reasonable fee, in line with what they will be paying other service providers for the services that they bring in, right? In the same way how MCTV pays for its services.
If I'm to understand it, the Flow and Digicel customers are not getting the best quality because their provider isn't purchasing the HD signal.
They're getting an over-the-air feed, which they're picking up off of a regular antenna that some person who does not have the MCTV service would be pulling in the service by. Right? So it would be a rabbit ear antenna or an antenna.
Really old school.
Yeah, really, yes, very much so.
So the calls we've been getting, people are thinking that it's the fault of the CBC, that it's the CBC that is sending out this signal, but we're long past that.
Absolutely not. As I said, specifically, December 15th, 2017, we started broadcasting in HD. Right? We made that transition in that year. And since then, the service that is available for the TV8 it is purely an HD service.
So if customers want to see TV8 in good quality, they should come over to MCTV then?
Well, it's available on MCTV, so certainly, yes, we will welcome that.
So, Lisa, the facts are that other service providers seem unwilling to pay CBC for its HD coverage in the same way as they pay all the other networks. So for now, their customers have to view a very poor quality. They're probably experiencing it as we speak. Back to you, Lisa.
Indeed. Good seeing you, Shane. Thank you so much. Well, efforts to get young people interested in careers in science and technology appear to be bearing some fruit, and this was evident as students of the Barbados Community College displayed their final year projects during the institution's Science Expo. Our Sharika Griffith reports.
The theme of this exhibition is health and wellness, and chairperson of BCC's Board of Management, Professor Ralma Newton, believes it's especially timely.
Because non-communicable diseases such as cardiovascular disease, cancer, diabetes, hypertension, and pulmonary disease account for 7 out of every 10 deaths in Barbados. In a population of approximately 276,000 persons, 25% of the adults have a non-communicable disease, and another 25% are at risk for it.
While the main focus is on health and wellness, many of the exhibitions also incorporate the arts, heritage, and entrepreneurship.
Basically, it's a circular project where we use pallet woods. We dismantle it to build a bar which will hold wines or brandy, and it also holds wine glasses at the bottom. We also did a step where it can hold candles to put on as a centerpiece for a table, like a big table, or it can hold cupcakes.
We essentially decided to do this as a way for you to help your skin and keep your skin moisturized and have all of the best benefits benefits for your skin, because we believe that when you have good skin, it really helps you in terms of your confidence. It helps you grow as a person, and we wanted people to be able to have that.
And the expo is a hit with the numerous primary school children who attend.
I like the science fair because you get to learn a lot of interesting things about your country. You see a lot of interesting stuff that you wouldn't really see a lot. So that's why I came here.
I like the soaps, how they smell. I like the tie-dye hats, and I like they have sweets and other soaps, and yeah, so it's going good for me.
For the first time, prizes are awarded for the most innovative exhibit, the most interactive display, and the exhibit with the best business potential. Sharika Griffith, CBC News.
Well, a local retailer has made a bold move in the wake of the ban on single-use plastics that has not only resulted in major savings for the business, but also for his customers. Our Ryan Broom is live now with that story. Good evening to you, Ryan.
Good evening, Lisa. Good evening, viewers. Well, the move is coming from the Black Rock St. Michael-based Solo Trading. It recently started an initiative called Refill, Not Landfill, where it is inviting its customers to bring their own empty gallon and pint bottles to have them refilled with the company's brand of concentrated dishwashing liquid. And General Manager of Solo, Simon Jackson, says what started out as a trickle of interest in the new offer is now a torrent as word continues to spread.
Society's changing. People are becoming aware that the things we do have an impact on the environment. And several years ago, about 6 years ago in fact, Solo led the way in trying to reduce single-use plastic bag use. We stopped giving away plastic bags over 6 years ago and started charging for them instead and offering people recyclable alternatives like cardboard boxes, etc. And so going on, we have various products that are extremely popular, one of which is the bottle dishwash, bottle liquid detergent, that kind of thing. And we order huge amounts of those, and generally we sell them in gallon sizes, and every order will be 5,000 to 6,000 gallons. So that's 5,000 to 6,000 plastic bottles that we take delivery of every time we have a delivery of a cleaning liquid. And it occurred to me that there must be a way that we could cut all of this wastage out. And I spoke to our local manufacturer, a very good Bajan company that we've been dealing with for a good few years now, and they were very interested in the idea and very proactive. And they came back to me with a large, what you see here, the tote, which holds 275 gallons. And because of our delivery cycle, the next liquid available was dishwash, so we decided we'd give that a try first of all.
Now, while the offer is only currently limited to dishwashing liquid, there's also some good news coming soon for users of the laundry detergent and fabric softener as well.
At the time that our manufacturer was able to offer this tote for us, the order was the dishwashing. But we've already now, based on the success of this, we've already ordered half of our next delivery of laundry detergent to be in refillable totes, and we've asked our manufacturer to develop an equally strong fabric softener to complete the range, and we expect that probably by the end of May, early June, that will be online as well.
In the meantime, he says the 12-year-old company's customers have been responding enthusiastically. He says in just the 2 weeks since they started the refilling initiative, they've sold half of what was ordered.
The incentive from the customer's point of view is that a gallon of dishwash sold normally in a plastic bottle with a label, etc., etc., is $10.95. We have a very high specification commercial grade dishwash that's extremely thick, extremely full of cleaning power. So the cheapest that we can do that is $10.95 in a bottle. If people bring their own bottle, and we really don't mind which bottle they bring, it doesn't have to be an empty one of our own bottles, it can be any gallon bottle that they've used at any time before, as long as it's clean, because obviously we don't want their product contaminated when they go away. As long as it's clean, we can supply that to them at $7.50. So that's over $3 saving on just 1 gallon.
Now, going forward, Lisa, Mr. Jackson says they will be going through their entire stock to see in what other areas they can reduce costs for customers by re-examining packaging. He has also expressed the hope that other businesses will also look at ways that they can make a positive impact on the environment while also helping their customers to save. Back to you, Lisa.
Thank you so much, Ryan. Well, albeit over 2 hours after the scheduled time, Grammy Award-winning artist Buju Banton arrived here in Barbados at the Grantley Adams International Airport today. Scores of fans and supporters didn't mind that delay as they eagerly waited to get a glimpse of the singer, whose real name is Mark Myrie. Now, it's the first time that Buju is in Barbados since his release from a U.S. prison last December. He will be the headline act for tomorrow night's Long Walk to Freedom concert at the Kensington Oval, and thousands are expected to attend the show, which is the highlight of the 2019 Barbados Reggae Festival.
What's Trending is brought to you by Trident Insurance. We treat you like family.
And we say good evening now to Lisa Broom, who is in our social media corner.
Hey, good evening, Lisa. So crime is trending tonight, the topic, but it's not in a negative context. So recent police efforts appear to be paying off, and among them, according to Attorney General Dale Marshall, is an increase in resources that has been given to the force. And it hasn't gone unnoticed on social media. Now, Facebook user Henderson Yard says police have always done a good job solving crimes, although preventing them, well, he says that has been the problem. But he wishes the authorities success in their efforts going forward. And Santini Moore says it's clear something is working, as it has been weeks since the last can-related death. She says the year started with many incidents, and after lawmen declared their intentions to curb them, the relative quiet in the country can be seen as a form of success. So she's keeping her fingers crossed that it continues. Over to Tobago now. A young man identified as Omari Brooks found himself on the wrong side of the law recently. As you can see, Omario decided to take a seat on top of a TNT police service vehicle, which was parked outside of a beach facility. Well, his show of bravado was recorded by friends, and it doesn't appear that any officers were in the immediate area. But the police did become aware of his actions, and this is how the situation ended. Take a look.
I did something that was very highly disrespectful to the citizens of Trinidad and Tobago, and also to the TTPS, the police service. And in my extension of my apology, I do this. I was not forced. I do this voluntarily to show my humble apologies.
Interesting. Well, just weeks after being hit by Cyclone Idai, Mozambique is now trying to recover from a second cyclone. This one is named Kenneth. The storm hit the southern African nation yesterday, flooding low-lying areas. Many homes were destroyed, and winds reportedly reached up to 140 miles per hour. Now, Kenneth has been downgraded, but heavy rains are expected to last for a few more days. Now, you might have heard the expression that not all heroes wear capes, but from this footage, I think we can agree that there is a greater impact when they are costumed. And that's right, that is the Easter Bunny. Well, at least somebody dressed up as one, involved in a brawl. Apparently, the man was out with friends, fully costumed, mind you, when he came to the defense of a woman who was being assaulted by another man. However, in a bit of a plot twist, it was later revealed that the young man in the costume actually has a criminal record and an outstanding warrant for his arrest. Now, many churches across the island marked Easter over the past weekend with special worship services. So take a look at this video that's making the rounds here on social media. It's showing what happened after a service at the Restoration Ministries. Now that one is speaking to me. But anyway, that's what's trending for this evening. Now, you know you can find us easily on Facebook, Instagram, and by email. Lisa, lend me your jacket. Lend me your jacket.
I'm telling you, I didn't even see him at first.
How could you miss him?
But I'll be speaking to the pastor this Sunday. We need to step it up a bit.
I agree.
Yeah.
Invite me though, just remember.
In order. Parliamentary Representative for St. Andrew, George Payne, says the government is moving to alleviate the woes of White Hill residents. He notes that surveys to determine those to be relocated are continuing. And Mr. Payne stresses all options to have a road in the community will be explored and a definitive plan should be in place before the end of this year.
2 Saturdays from now, we are having a site visit with the engineers, and we're looking at the possibility also of having a bypass road in the particular area. We are not very sure about that because of the steepness of the area, but it is a matter that we started to address immediately after we came to government. But unfortunately, because of the time that it took for the last administration to actually do anything, we have to start from scratch. But the plans are in the works. We've had a series of meetings with the engineers, with the officials in the Ministry of Public Works, and it is hoped that I would say by the end of the year we probably might be able to come up with a definitive plan for the people of White Hill.
With the ban on single-use plastics in place, persons living with disabilities may have special conditions extended to them to accommodate their needs. Minister of Maritime Affairs and the Blue Economy Kirk Humphrey, along with the Permanent Secretary Esworth Reid, both offered this solution after hearing concerns raised by the Special Envoy for the Disabled, Rosalind Hurley, during the town hall meeting on petrol-based plastics at the Lloyd Erskine Sanford Centre recently. Now, Ms. Hurley stated that the alternative paper-based straws and the reusable metal straws were not suitable for persons with disabilities. Minister Humphrey expressed regret at the challenges members of the disabled community were facing in relation to the ban.
We have to come up with a solution that works for persons with disabilities. I mean, it's going to be difficult, but we have to come up with a solution that works for people who have disabilities. A lot of the metal straws don't work. A lot of metal straws don't work for them. And I mean, if you just gotta Google it, you'll see a whole movement worldwide of persons with disability who feel completely left out of the movement. And you're talking about a small percentage of straws at the end of the day that we could probably specially order through the government to make sure that, you know, we don't disadvantage people, because it doesn't make sense trying to save the environment and then, you know, you're disproportionately hurting other people. And I don't think that's the intention.